Hi, me again. It's been a while. We're back on Throne for a bit of background gameplay, noise, whatever the heck you want to call it. I've been holding off to record this week and half of last week. I uploaded the last video. Kind of went over my Crusader build here on Throne, but I've been holding off for recording for a little bit just to kind of get my thoughts together and figure out exactly what it is I wanted to say. And I also expected to have in-laws come in tomorrow, and it's just been a whole thing, and I guess that's not happening, and now other family stuff is going on, so his schedule's all kinds of crazy and whacked out. Plus, it's springtime, and I got a lot of farming stuff that we do, so it's starting to fall into that. But that's a good thing, right? Um, I guess all this leads me to talk about Black Desert. It's been absent for a little bit, and there isn't really an easy way to say it, but last night was the first night that my PC has been voluntarily off since I built it, 2.5 years ago. I have not logged into Black Desert for almost 24 hours now. At the time of this recording, and I don't plan on logging back in. Uh, Something broke. It really did. It broke, and the feeling of freedom and the weight that has lifted off from not playing anymore, from logging out and not feeling like I have to be online 24/7. I can't describe it. And the fear of missing out is there.
It's tough to survive around here if your equipment
But
isn't good enough.
video is not what I'm afraid of missing out on. There's a lot of other things that I want to do that doesn't include BDO. Being off of even okay, so I haven't played Black Desert actively for quite a while. Yeah, I mean, other than recording for you all. And it still has hindered me doing other things. Having to micromanage, resetting, constantly checking the fishing, the repairing, all of the crap, managing workers, trade crate stuff. It's just all AFK inventory management, and still, it's just like this looming thing. I can't even get in camera. Over, like, behind you, like looking over your shoulder. And it's just exhausting, um, and I'm done. This week, the last few days, something in me just broke, and I don't want to do it anymore. Today I'm not feeling well, physically. I just feel kind of sick. Doesn't have anything to do with YouTube or video or anything. I've just run down. I just don't feel very well. Chronic issues, but so I haven't been up to much today, and sorry. The cat keeps getting in the curtain. It makes me kind of wash out. There we go. Yeah, but the few days before today, Thursday, day before that, Wednesday, very productive. Wednesday, I did a pretty extensive repair on an electronic. I repaired an older laptop. It's new to me, but so we had I have it over to the side over there, sitting on the bench. It's an Asus G751 Y JY. Um, Fourth gen Intel processor, if that kind of gives you. I mean, it was released a while back, but anyway, brand new. They were like top of the line Asus gaming laptops, and it's pretty powerful. Well, I got a couple of them off eBay. They were parts are no working. They were junked. One of them had an SSD in it, and so I got a hold of this better model, this GTX 980M for the GPU. Not anything special, but it's a good laptop that I needed for coding, and I want to buy a new one. So I parted out one of them that was a little bit weaker model. It was a JM, I think, 751 JM. Pulled the memory out, pulled the hard drives and stuff out of it, and I have the rest of it sitting behind me on the shelf below me over there, and so I can part it out. The keycaps are worth something, the screen is worth something, the main board is worth something, so there's a lot of money to get back out of that. And then put all the parts in the new one. Well, the newer one. The keyboard was not working right. I had a delay, so I ordered a new battery, a new keyboard, and a charger for it. So I got all that stuff. Batteries put in a while back. The keyboard still wasn't working right, so I had to do a keyboard. Well, the problem is the keyboard is plastic riveted onto the top plate. So you have to take a soldering iron or whatever. You don't want to use a heat gun because you heat it up too much, then it melts all the cover and everything. So you're reverse soldering plastic rivets to melt them enough to pry things apart. And there's a metal plate with about 15-20 plastic rivets around it. Then there's a backlight you have to peel off because it's just stuck on the keyboard, and then you got another like 30 or 40 plastic rivets for the keyboard. So you have to undo all of that, and then you have to put the new one in place and remelt them all to get them to hold it in place. Basically soldering plastic. It's a painful process. You get that done, put the backlight back on, put the metal plate back on, and then you're done. And hopefully it works. Well, I finally sat down and did it. You know, I'm pretty good at fixing stuff. You know, that's what I used to do professionally. Tech support, programming, a comp sci degree, you know, before I started back on the farm and YouTube and all that stuff. You know, I did have a career. Well, this music's bothering me. There we go. Anyway, so I got it all working. It's going to be a good laptop for me to be mobile. And I don't need anything new by any means. I don't go mobile that often. But we may be taking some trips here and there. And I would like to have access to a laptop. So I don't want to buy a brand new one because I don't use it enough to worry about that. So I fixed it, and I'm into it for about $400, which brand new when they released it was about what $1,800, $2,000 laptop, so that's not bad. But the caveat is I've got all the keycaps on the broken keyboards that are worth something. Screen, the motherboard, those are $100 a piece, so I'm probably going to be into it for almost nothing by the time I part out what I got left and get rid of it. And that's usually how I acquire a lot of my stuff. You know, fixing old stuff, parting out things, and you get it for almost nothing. And then if I need to, I can sell that for a profit. And I've actually bid on more electronics that If I win the bids, there should be money to be made. So that's kind of what I'm doing these days. And BDO has been a hindrance to a lot of those things. The other thing that I have put my time into, I downloaded the Godot game engine, and I'm teaching myself game development because I want to do it. I have several ideas, and I want to build them. And that would be an actual decent use of my programming degree, instead of just tossing it in the corner. I have a lot of that kind of knowledge that just kind of goes wasted if I don't use it. So there's that. And then we got a lot of farm stuff that I want to do, and BDO has been a hindrance as well. So I guess that's just my little story time of wind. Can hear the wind blowing. I guess that's just my little story time of I'm tired. And the Pearl Abyss has finally worn me down, and I just don't want to do it anymore. The game is fun. Black Desert's fun, but it's too heavy. I don't even have the feeling to push for profit anymore. Like I have like 115 billion silver on there, and I have nothing to do with it. There's nobody selling costumes to get Cron stones. There's nobody selling enhancement stones. There's no way for me to enhance unless I go farm that stuff myself, and I don't care enough to do that. Fail stacks are also a problem. And then after I logged off yesterday and was off for a little bit, I kind of saw some things. Blue Squadron decided to make a video on this. Pearl Abyss is charging for everything now. They are charging for season tickets, and they're not giving them out anymore from what I could tell. It's fine if you had some saved up, and I probably did too, but it's too much. It's too much. You're delivering a subpar product, and you're charging a higher premium than most other games are at this point. You can't charge World of Warcraft prices and give Walmart World of Warcraft experience. You can't do it. They're going to lose money, and I think a lot more people are going to be uninstalling. I think that's the way of things. Now, there are arguments to be made for the game that I'm on right now in the background, Throne of Liberty. Yes, it's a Korean MMO. Yes, NCSoft has a bad track record. However, I don't have to be online all the time. I can log in, play when I want, do the things that I want, and log off. I don't feel like I have to be AFK farming stuff to make progress. Let me bring up the currency. I do need to use these keys though. Yes, I have 3,200 and something of their cash shop currency. No, I've never bought. Yeah, I am full free to play, and that's the appeal. I can be free to play, and I can earn cash shop currency by selling stuff through the auction house. And I don't play that often. I don't know what my Steam numbers are. I have to go look. But I do play with the wife when she wants to play. Do have a guild. We do PvP stuff. And I mean, look at the Steam numbers. I will bring it up and look at it. Library. Throne of Liberty, 840 hours total since release. Since full release. It's not going to show it. Gosh dang it. There we go. 840. So there you have it. Of course, I'm a big fan of text documents. I've got all my Throne of Liberty stuff up here. All my notes. But yeah, 840 hours since release, which really, that's not that much. Some of that was kind of AFK because I have a habit of just walking away from the computer and doing what I need to do and leaving it up. So several hours here and there. So it's probably closer to like 820. And we played quite a bit on several occasions when we had nothing else going on. We would just have gaming days and play. So I think the wife's probably close to that as well. Now, what does that mean for the channel? I'm not going anywhere. I'm still going to make videos when I can, and I'm going to try and start recording whenever the wife and I are playing. It's really up to her. I mean, if she don't want to be, she kind of, her desk is kind of behind on the opposite wall behind me, and if she doesn't want to be in the video or in camera or whatever, then I can always just turn it off and just have gameplay. And as far as the actual camera taken with me, it's on the shelf back there behind my head. I'm gonna start trying to do some real away from computer stuff, you know, like, or away from gaming stuff. I think it's healthier. And there's the wife. She must have her ears burning me talking about recording. Anyway, the Throne of Liberty. I think for this foreseeable future, it is the main focus. In terms of pay to win, I'm not saying it's not. You know, you buy stuff off the auction house with Cash Shop currency. But at the same time, it is also pretty free-to-play friendly if you kind of pay attention and know what you're doing. Like, I've been selling all the gear since the expansion release. I'm still running tier 1 gear, if you know what that means. It's just epic gear. And then there's also tier 2. You can see in the top left corner of the actual little equipment window. I do have a weapon that is tier 2 that I swapped to. I'm still using a tier 1 secondary weapon, and all my other gear is tier 1. I haven't swapped yet because I haven't been it hasn't been available to get it, the gear. So all the tier 2 stuff I get, I've just been kind of offloading and only keeping the stuff that I necessarily need, which has made me a lot of money. I've got 3,000. I mean, granted, I'm not rich by any means, but 3,000 will go quite a ways if you're smart about what you spend on the auction house, or even in the shop. But that's the cool thing, you know. I can sell my dungeon drops and stuff and make the Lucent, and then I can go on to their cash shop, and I can buy whatever the heck I want. You know, this is all their cash shop. They got different skins, different outfits, different mounts, morphs is what they call them. You can just buy them. They're $7.50. I can easily buy this stuff. I usually save my Lucent for the battle passes because they're constantly releasing battle passes. And these extra set vouchers are pretty cool. I will probably, if they have a mastery one, that's probably what I would like to invest a couple of my pennies into. Now, granted, if you're looking for like best in slot gear, where are they at? They're still quite high. The Queen Belendir's Languishing Blade for Sword and Shield is 50,000, and that's pretty well best in slot for now. As far as Sword and Shield weapons go, there are some others that are they look like the Nehru. It has went down. That's probably best in slot for tier 2 currently, but you can still get an Archboss, which is ultimately best in slot, and they're 65,000, so it gives you an idea. My 3,000 is not high by any means, but it's enough for me. being free to play. I'm not pushing to be, you know, #1 by any means. I'm just bopping around and doing what we do. We play when we want to. Man, they changed my picture on my character to side profile pic. I don't know why they did that. How do I change this? I forget. This profile settings. Why do they keep doing that? I don't want to change appearance. Can't equip that. But that is, and the other thing is there are life skills I went over before, the fishing and cooking, and there's gathering. You know, the game is just a vibe, is what they say, right? It's just, it just feels light, and I don't feel any obligation to be online 100% of the time, and I like that. And this actually reminds me a lot of Last Chaos when I first played Last Chaos. Just an updated version. Is tab target, you're just grinding things out when you want to. There isn't really, there's tons of PvP, and there's an arena, and there isn't really, like, long term, the grind is nowhere near like Black Desert. And I don't have to have my PC on 24/7. The wear and tear on the hardware is, it's bad.
I'm more sensitive than I look, you know.
Not happy about that, so I'm hoping this frees some things up. And I'm also hoping that
When I think about what will happen today, do you know the secret to my youthful
the
appearance?
game development goes well, because that's really what I want to do. That's really where I want to be at. I want to be an independent developer for applications and games. Obviously, we own our own farm, and that's supposed to sustain us, but it's not going to make us rich by any means, and my body's not going to last forever. So, like, the farm work is going to continue to get harder and harder every year. And I'm feeling pretty rough from a lot of things, so I have people I have to think about being taken care of, so I've got to make a switch on some stuff. But that being said, I don't plan on going anywhere, and I do plan on putting out stuff. And now that I'm no longer, my personality is, I have an issue with things that are unsure, so I feel 100% better once I make a decision, and then I go wholeheartedly into it. But being in that limbo of, should I quit BDO? Is my channel going to die? Are people going to hate me? And then I kind of touched on it for several videos over the last month, and it just didn't work out well. Well, I made a decision. I'm not logging back in. I'm not saying I won't ever log back in, but I'm not logging back in right now. And this is the game that my wife is playing, so this is the game that I'm going to play. And I played a couple of pickup games of League, and I'm probably going to log off of here and play a couple more and see how it goes, but I've not had a good experience. I've been away from there for so long that it dumped me in Iron on the ranked thing, and it's not fun. I don't know if I'll ever climb out of there or if I'll even continue to play, but I am going to give it another shot. And because it also is, there's no obligation to stay logged in, and I can kind of listen to stuff and learn things. The thing with Godot, the game thing, is there's a lot that I have to absorb in my head, so I just listen to stuff, tutorials on what other people are doing, so I can pick up the programming language, the Godot script, and start just learning how to use the software. Now, as far as concepts and building things, I don't have a problem with that. I figure things out very quickly. Designs, I've already got 2 different game designs fully fleshed out. I just need to learn how to use the software to create what I see in my head. So I am working towards that. And that's where my time is going. That's why the BDO videos have dried up. And I'm not sad about that. I'm really not. Um, Pearl Abyss and Black Desert are life draining, and they will continue to drain you away if you let them. I've seen so many streamers destroy themselves over games, and it's just not a good thing. And so that's why I've been very infrequent and very careful about what I create and put out. Now, the other thing I wanted to talk about, I mean, I guess I could have full face cammed this whole video, but there was a couple things that I want to talk about on Throne of Liberty, but there's also some things I want to talk about on Black Desert. So I'm gonna do the whole Black Desert spiel first, and then Throne of Liberty, and then end this off. I don't want this video to go for like 100 hours. I'm also pausing for the wind every time it gusts. Anyway, the Black Desert stuff. So it's become a community thing. I know who Fake Uni is, and I've seen his hardcore rules and a challenge that he has made for himself and anyone that wants to participate. I could have easily done that, recorded the whole thing, and I have very unorthodox ways of playing Black Desert, and I could have, but I have no desire to, because it's not that it doesn't sound fun, it's just that Black Desert as a whole has dried up for me. You know, it sounds fun, and then whenever I start thinking about the details, I feel like I just want to lay down and go to sleep. Like, I don't know how else to describe it. It seems very burdensome, and that is another big reason why I didn't do a season 2 of the pacifist challenge that I had on the channel before. Because it's fine, but I don't want to play the game like that forever, and I don't want to get 100 episodes in and then just be like, well, I'm done now. I don't want to do it anymore. And when you don't want to do something and you're trying to create an experience for someone else, it comes through when you don't care about it, you know? But the whole hardcore thing, I would be more apt if there were actual plugins, like old school RuneScape has plugins. I don't want to have to, like, try and figure out if I'm breaking a rule that I didn't remember or didn't know about. It's just too much. Besides, hardcore would not be that hardcore. You know why? I don't know if it's inherently against his rules, but I would literally start the character, kill a couple of things, to get enough silver built up, and then I would go tame horses until I had millions of silver. I mean, that doesn't take hardly any time. You know, you don't need huge amounts of silver to begin with, so you just run your ass to Heidel, get enough silver for a rope and some sugar and mineral water, shake them together to make a lump of sugar, and then go tame a horse and do that on repeat. Like, the first time you sell the horse, you're going to get enough to continue. And then, you know, you can ride your horse back and forth to go tame, so it's going to be quicker. You just, like, tame a couple the first time. You know, you tame one, run it back, go back, tame another one, and then you have a permanent horse to go back and forth. You keep the best one out of them. Then you tame a couple and start breeding so you can get yourself a tier 8. And you just go from there. And I think his rules where you can't, like, AFK, so the horse training thing would not be kind of iffy. I don't know if that was against the rules or not, but catching them and selling them to the horse guy would be an easy amount of silver very quickly, no risk from any monsters anywhere. And then once you have that, you just buy a starter set of gear, and then you can continue to do that to build up silver, and then you're gonna have to get yourself somewhere to where you can buy enhanced gear and then extract them. the stones out, and then you have basically an infinite blackstone farm with its low effort, and then that's how the game would go. You know, it wouldn't be that fun to even watch. Plus, it doesn't further your main account, and the fear of missing out is there. It's like, if I'm playing BDO, why would I not? Why would I not just continue on my main account? You know, I feel like it's wasted effort. So, I view things differently, and to each their own. I wish them good luck, but I decided to sit that one out. Not that they invited me anyway. I just saw it and was like, wonder if I reached out if that would be a thing. So, the other part of that, you know, with all the Pearl Abyss changes and the all of that put together, I just don't want to. Now, Throne of Liberty. I know NCSoft's track record, but they're listening to the player base. I didn't make a video on this because I didn't really want to share exploits out, but there was for this. So since I'm Sword and Shield and I have a lot of shield block chance, I could literally swap my second weapon to staff, and then under staff, you're gonna have this passive asceticism, and if you stand still, you get a buff. Well, they had a passive in here, Flame's Discipline. If you took it under the masteries, you put your points in there, that when the asceticism's in place effect is active, now they've changed it to 10 seconds after it's used. It fires a fireball that deals 150% of base damage to 5 random targets within 5 meters every second. It used to, as long as the asceticism was active, it would just shoot out 5 random fireballs every second, and people were using it to AFK farm. And NCSoft didn't like that. They actually fixed it, which is fantastic. They're listening to the player base. This was a problem. I viewed it as an exploit, an unintended effect, and it wasn't a good thing. Now, the other thing that they fixed that I'm very happy about is the artifacts. So I have these artifacts, and they're not the best ones. They're just kind of placeholders until I find better ones. But I have the dark set. I need one more, but I have 5 of 6. And if you look on there, set effects is the important. I want shield block chance 6%. That's what I was going for. You need 4 of them. I got those 4, and then I managed to get a solar stone. I still need the lunar stone to make it the full 6, and then I'll start farming them as I can to replace with better stats, because the white stats on the top are all random, and you basically just have to get lucky. See, like this one, don't have any stars. Well, this one's maxed out. It has the highest on those stats, but see, those stats aren't very good. I don't really like them. So, and plus it's a chaos, not a dark. So I've just been doing what I can. But anyway, the shield block chance was not reflecting in the character stats, so it was not working. It was bugged. Well, they fixed it. It was showing as 56.8. Now it shows 62.8. So unbuffed, I have 62.8% chance for my shield to just block the damage and not take damage at all. I rarely get hit in PvE. I don't have any problems. Then whenever you put on Shield Devotion, Counter Barrier here, Shield Devotion, what am I thinking? I think that was a passive, wasn't it? What am I thinking? Shield Devotion, where did I get that from? Am I stupid? Probably. Anyway, Counter Barrier is the skill that I was actually trying to talk about. And you get 34% more shield block chance for 6 seconds. So, for 6 seconds, and then you have a cooldown of 18 seconds, but it's actually less than that because of this specialization. so it goes down. But yeah, so every like 10, 12 seconds, I can become almost invincible. I get 96.8 if I put it on. See, it was 62. Put it on. 96.8% chance to not take damage, basically. And then whenever I swap armor over to tier 2, I'll be swapping my boots and gloves out. It will go down to 60 because right now I have a set effect on the armor, shield block chance 10%. The new set gives me 8%, but as I block or evade or shield block something, I get a 2% increase, and that stacks 5 times. So I'll actually have 18% at max. So I'll be at 104. It should be like 104.8, and then the max you can get is like 105 or 106. My shield block chance on my sword and shield is only 30%. I think there's one that gives you 32%, so I could get a couple more there. So you should be at like 106, 107 is like max, but I'll be at 104 when I'm full buffed for a little bit, and it helps. Not very happy that they nerfed my class though by giving so much potential shield block penetration to other classes if you want to stack that. But that's fine. Not everybody's going to stack that. And I can't be just 100% invincible to everyone. You know, it would make the game unbalanced and unfair. So I can equate for that. I can build other things to help me counter people that can blow right through my shield. That's what my crowd control is for. But I wanted to talk about how they're listening and they're actually fixing things and improving the game as people suggest, which is what Pearl Abyss should be doing, and then we wouldn't have this problem and we could all just play Black Desert and be happy, you know. But that's not the case. They're more worried about monetizing things than they actually are fixing things and giving a good product that people actually want. And that, you know, and I'm not going to say that Throne of Liberty might become a train wreck too. NCSoft has a very big track record of starting out okay and then all of a sudden becoming so pay to win that you can't play their games. And that may happen. That may happen with Throne of Liberty. And Throne of Liberty may die. It may fall off. But for now, it's very good. And unless you're just playing it 16 hours a day like it's a job, you probably won't run out of stuff to do. You know, there's always contracts to do. There's always dungeon runs to do. There's always world events to do. There's always open world dungeons to go farm. And then you've got like the guild stuff to do. You know, and then in the downtime you can go gather some stuff and do the little bit of life skilling that you need to make meals and potions and the fishing. You know, and you spread it out, there's more than enough content that should fill a 2-hour playtime every day, which is realistic playtime, not 8, 10, 16 hours, right? So the people that are bored and saying there's no content, it's a dead game, they're playing too much. I know it sounds weird, but games used to be like, oh, we'll play 1 hour or a couple hours a day, maybe, if that. Some days not at all. Some days, yes, all day. Like, I mean, when I was a kid, we would play games on Saturdays all freaking day long. We're not in school. We can't go outside in the wintertime very much. You know, you get too dang cold here where I live. So we just sat inside and play games all day. But we wouldn't do that every single day. So, and now it's kind of become normalized for some people to be 16-hour-a-day game addicts. I don't know if that picked up on the mic or not, but the wind decided to be angry again. But you know, if Throne of Liberty does crash and burn, then we'll move on to something else. But I'm no longer going to be held hostage by a game that feels like Stockholm Syndrome. Being fear of missing out, making me stay on Black Desert a lot longer than I probably should have. And maybe a break will change my thoughts on it, but for now, it's making me kind of sick feeling that I have to be online all the time for it. And it's gotten to the point where I don't even want to micromanage the fishing, you know, set the fishing up and then have to like go to repair. And the good fishing spots that I like to fish at are way out of the way, so I have to have like 30 minutes to be able to just reset fishing. if my fishing tank is full. And so it's just, I'm done. I don't want to do it. We're going to move forward. I touched on everything. Checked in. Don't really have anything fun to report yet, but hopefully over the next few weeks we'll have lots of Throne and Liberty gameplay. I'm going to try and record with the wife. And as I learn game stuff, maybe I'll do some programming things. I don't know. People don't really want to watch that. Game development or just application development in general is not that exciting. You know, you do a little something and then you test it. You do a little something and then you test it. You know, it's just like building anything else. I don't want to give away my designs, you know, so I don't want that out there yet. But taking trips and taking the camera along, maybe I can get my wife to film if she don't want to be on camera. Maybe she'll hold it, and we can do that kind of stuff. I really don't mind being on camera. I don't care. Since I did the whole farm video like 2 years or whatever ago, I'm heavier than I was then. I'll tell you that. I become a fatty. I'm gonna have to get back in the gym. We're gonna have to like kick the cats out of the house or something so I can have my gym back. There are litter boxes in my gym. I really haven't been working out because I don't want to breathe that. It's just kind of nasty. Cats are gross. And yes, we have like an expensive litter robot that automatically sifts it so it never sits. You know, it's never dirty litter that sits in there. But you're not gonna get rid of the cat smell. Either way. I mean, it is what it is. The dander and all that, it's just a mess. But either way, it just kind of turns into an excuse, and I'm gonna have to get back to the gym. But I don't mind being on camera. It's not a big deal. I don't like carrying things with me. So like holding the camera, taking it along with me, it's just, it's not me. But if somebody wants to like shoot things here and there, you know, I can clip them together. That's fine. And maybe she'll do that. Maybe she'll do it. We'll see. But then I can blame her for crappy camera work. Ain't nobody gonna blame me for having shaky hands. But we've got work. We've got a lot of farm work to do over the next week. And then we have a bunch more stuff to do that is just completely unrelated. So very busy time of year, and changing your life is very hectic, and it takes time and work. And I'm not happy with where we are, so that's what has to happen. And BDO has to go because I need my time for other things and I don't have time to micromanage it. And if I'm just going to be standing AFK, I might as well not be logged in. So when I play, I'll record, and otherwise we're going to do other things. 43 minutes to say goodbye, I guess. But no, it was a fun time. I enjoyed it. I'm actually watching Blade BowQuest on Twitch. That dude was always he was such a character. He's an entertainer, that's for sure. But I'm watching him play the hardcore rules, and it's kind of, I'm one of those people, I don't want to play anymore, but I'll still watch it. It's still entertaining to me while I'm doing other things. But we'll see how it goes. Maybe I can have enough graphics and not lag enough on here to actually record some of the Rift fights. And maybe we'll see how that goes. I want this Nehru sword, but there ain't no way I'm gonna get it. It comes from a boss. Need to go do the boss and see if it drops. Armor. Yeah, these aren't even dropping yet. They come from Ackman. We haven't got that boss in the game yet. And these are still expensive, 7,000. As far as lithograph goes, the gauntlets, yeah, it's still 7,000. Now the other thing is Auric. Helmet, the armor is 9,000. The legs are 10,000. And if I go to the chest, 14,000. And legs are 13,000. So I'm going to go with Royal Praetor's boots. I got a list up top. Boots, and I would like to have the helmet, but that's probably not going to happen. That comes from Archboss. So it's going to be boots and gloves. And then I'm going to go with Auric, full plate, and pants, garters, or gaiters. Because of the strength and fortitude, and the chest has strength and fortitude, and then the set bonus gives you more endurance per perception, and perception is very important for hitting things. And then the Praetors give you the shield block chance, so I need to go here and show that off. Shield block chance 8%, and upon shield block 2%, and stacks 5 times, so that's 18% total when you're fully stacked. And so that's a good set bonus to have. So you split that, and you'll have 2 of each, and then you get one more gear slot to just specialize. I'll find something that has strength and fortitude on it or something like that. And then accessories can specialize even more for stun or collision chance or accuracy, hit chance, you know. But that's what we're doing. We're building a PvP character that can still tank in PvE and have a damage build for farming. And it's fun, you know. I like to go to the guild fights and do that stuff, and so that's what we're doing. But in the meantime, I'm logging off. So you guys have a good one, and I hope there's support. I hope you all don't just fly the coop and dump my channel. But if you do, well, I wish you the best. And I'll still be here when you come back. Or if you don't, then I'll see you in the next life or something, you know. See you on the other side. So, as always, until next time, you guys have a good weekend, and I'll see you when I see you.